Hey everybody, Nick here with the Bridge Group. Thank you so much for tuning in for another video. Today, I'm actually joined by Krista McGowan.
Hey guys.
She's actually a brand new agent with the Bridge Group, and she lives on the north side of town, and I live here in Katy. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to compare and contrast Conroe ISD to Katy ISD and see which area comes out on top. Let's get into it. A lot of the data that we're going to cover today actually comes from a website called niche.com. It's a really great resource for you as a parent to kind of figure out how that school district that you are in, or maybe the school districts that you're interested in, how they fare both in Houston as a whole, or even in Texas, or even on the nationwide level. So it's really, really cool. You can kind of see all these kinds of rankings and stuff, and they compile all this data. So I am not going to sit here and claim that I have memorized all of this information.
It is fantastic. It is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really great resource. So I definitely recommend it. That's niche.com. So again, we're going to use a lot of their statistics as we talk about it today. So let's actually get started with some of the statistics about Katy ISD and Conroe ISD and how they compare. I have to give it up for Katy first. It is the #1 school district in Houston. Yes, thank you.
Slow clap.
It is the #1 district in Houston, and that's a pretty awesome accolade.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah.
With 19 of the top elementary schools being in Katy ISD.
Wow.
I know, kind of overachievers a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Calm down, Katy.
So let's actually talk about Conroe. How does Conroe rank in the Houston area?
We're #7 in Houston.
Okay, #7.
Yeah.
You get the award for participation.
Yeah, lucky #7. Mm-hmm.
And what about the elementary schools? How many?
Only 9 out of 33 are lower than an A.
Okay, that's actually a really good rating.
I know.
That's awesome. So
I'm proud of us.
Most of the elementary schools are an A or better. That's awesome. So I actually looked up the student-to-teacher ratio, and Katy's is 15-1.
Ours is 16-1.
Oh, we're still better.
I should start packing my bags now.
Yeah, I've got to move to Katy because, it's everything.
over.
It's on fire over there.
It's over.
So not to add insult to injury,
Right?
but where does Conroe ISD rank for sports? Now, the reason I ask, I know we've been talking about elementary schools, but eventually those kids grow up, and some of them get involved in extracurricular activities, and they play sports. So where does Conroe rank in Houston?
We are #7, Nick.
Okay, #7. That's a pretty strong. That's a pretty strong number.
We keep it real with the
Coming
#7.
Coming out the gate swinging. Well, Katy's #1
Yeah. I get it.
again.
Y'all are perfect.
And as a Katy High School alumni,
Right.
who also played football for Katy High School,
I can tell.
it was awesome. And actually, Katy High School ranks #1 as a school within Houston as well for sports.
Well,
not just the
congratulations,
district,
Katy.
And then Tompkins, surprisingly, Tompkins is a newer high school in Katy. They actually rank #11 out of schools for athletes. So that's pretty cool.
That is good.
The reason that's also interesting is that Tompkins ranks much higher for academics than other schools in Katy ISD. So I know like Seven Lakes and Tompkins are some of the top sought-after schools for academics, but Tompkins also ranks in that top 20 for schools for athletes as well.
Wow, really well-rounded.
So as you know, when you're looking for a school for your child to go to, it's not all about the rankings, although that is important, and it can help you kind of get an idea for test scores and the teacher ratios and all that kind of good stuff. That's good. But if the area that you live in is not also good, then you're not going to want to live there, right? It can't just all be about that. So let's talk a little bit about the differences, because there are differences between kind of the Woodlands, Klein, Spring, kind of Conroe area up north and Katy. Katy, Fulshire. So what draws you, and what do you think draws people to want to live kind of on that north side of town?
The country home feel. It is perfect. There are ranches everywhere, forest everywhere, hiking trails, ponds, lakes. We're right up there by Lake Conroe. It's beautiful.
And there's trees literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
Hence,
buildings
the
are
woodlands.
hidden behind the trees.
Yeah, that was actually one of the weird things. If you've ever driven up in that area, is like you kind of have to be paying extra attention.
Yes.
Because you'll just miss stuff because there's literally trees everywhere and they're blocking half the things that you're looking for.
Right.
Which is cool though, because we like have no trees here in Katy. Like there's very, very little foliage, which it's not always the nicest looking place. I would say if you want somewhere that is just like drop dead gorgeous to look at and live around, it would certainly be the north
we
side.
We win.
Hands down, they win. Like there are really nice communities here in Katy that look really awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But there's just no trees. So it's, and I always joke and I tell people when you move to Houston, you are not moving here because it's a really nice place to look at. Like you move to Colorado if you want to have mountains. You move to California if you want the good weather, right? But you move here for schools, for jobs, right? For real estate, for the cost of living.
Right.
But that north side is the closest that you're going to get to
for the view.
Really having like a nice view with the lakes and the trees and all that kind of good stuff.
It's beautiful.
And if you're not from here, Houston is like a big wheel and you've got multiple spokes.
Right.
And so the outermost wheel is that 99 loop, which is not fully connected on the east side yet. But it's mostly a wheel. If you look at it, it's not a perfect circle. It's kind of weird, but most of your major master plan communities and kind of major areas.
All the new development.
It's all going to be around that 99. That's where all of your newer houses and stuff are going to be. And then as you get a little bit closer in and you get closer to Beltway 8, that's when everything starts getting older. Then as you get to the 610, now you're like inside the loop is what that's called. And that's where you're going to get like your old original Houston stuff. So yeah, we're kind of on that outer edge. So we still got, there's old homes in Katy. I mean, you can get 1960s homes that are out here.
Right.
But then now you can get, 2020 brand new construction. So, and I think the Woodlands, or the areas that I know of on the north side they're still being built up. There's building in Klein,
right?
Montgomery, Tomball, yeah. But I think the Woodlands is kind of done, right? You kind of have to go north of the Woodlands,
right? If you're going to go right in the center of the Woodlands, you're going to get a little bit older homes, and by older I mean like early 2000s, stuff like that. But if you're wanting like new communities, you're going to have to venture out a little bit to Tomball, Montgomery, Klein, Spring, all those little areas outside of the Woodlands.
So if you would be interested in hearing more about the communities that are available in those areas, what master plan communities we recommend as real estate agents, definitely stay tuned for our next video where we're going to go more in depth on the communities that are available in these areas. So stay tuned for that. All right, so hopefully you guys found this an interesting comparison. Obviously, Katy is the best. I think that's what we have settled on here.
Oh my gosh.
But if you like being out in the country, maybe the Woodlands would be a great option for you, or that Conroe area.
If you want views, then come our way.
Fair enough. I cannot argue with that.
Yeah.
And I want to give a big shout out to Highland Homes and Jason left here. So Highland Homes was wonderful, and they allowed us to use their model home. We're here in Katy in Kane Island. Kane Island is a master plan community in Katy. It's actually zoned to Katy High School. It's one of the last new communities that still is going to be zoned to Katy High School. And so we're in their 65-foot model home, which is just breathtaking. It's such a beautiful home.
So
Highland
beautiful.
builds such a great product. So we definitely want to thank them for allowing us to shoot in their model home. And if you are interested in learning more about this home here, then definitely reach out to me. My information is going to be here on the screen. Shoot me an email. I'd love to talk to you about how I can help you and your family make the move and make the right decision on where you want to move to in the Houston area. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Click the little bell so that you can be notified. I put out new content every single week. So thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video, and we will see you on the next one.